Ah, I'm back again with another unscheduled, unregulated, whatever you want to call it. But I'm back. Um, I thought today I wanted to share uh, a bit about what it's like for me to, yeah, live with my regrets, and what kind of what my journey was with it, and what I did, and you know, kind of what I'm doing to, I don't know, get better, but also just to move on, right? And yeah, I thought maybe that, maybe someone who is in a spot, maybe this is something you might want to hear, right? But yeah, let's just let's just go. Okay, living with my regrets. Um, it's been very hard, right? I mean, I know that my biggest regret for me was trying to take my own life, and uh, having to live with that, especially for now it's been what, almost 3 years now, right? And I think for the first time, maybe at the start of this year, was when I actually kinda came to accept it, and you know started to try and work on it, right? So that's almost 3 whole years that I just went with kind of trying to ignore it, but then acknowledging it, but then it was still hard for me because I'd had to come to terms with that this is my mistake, this is all me, right? And no one can come to save me. I have to deal with this head on. And just coming to that realization, I think it probably took me 2 years. Um, and it's not that I didn't know that that was a thing. I think I always deep down knew that that's just a fact. But again, as I just said before, right? It's the accepting, right? Accepting that that's just how it is. That was the harder part. Or you acknowledging it is it's not that hard, but accepting that that's how it is. It's just a whole. It's just a whole other level, right? So I think what what should you do to kind of what can you do to get to the point of where this is like you're at a point where you actually want to accept fault, not fault, but accept responsibility, right? Uh, and I think the most important thing for me, especially, was to have something in my life, right? Have something that I wanted to go for, right? I think that's the only thing you can really do, right? Is have a goal, have something that you want to do, right? And everyone, I think, I personally, I think that everyone has something that they want to try out. Whether you see that as a small thing or a big thing, that doesn't really matter, right? Just having that purpose in your life, could get you, but for me at least, right, it got me so much further, right? So for me, it was I wanted to join the military, and I'm speaking to you today, so obviously that didn't work out. Um, I was told no, and I think I went over that in my previous video. So I'll just leave it there, right? Um, but yeah, you know, I had that goal, and that was kind of, I don't know, you know, that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I wanted to get at, and I knew that in order to get disciplined enough, and you know, in order to complete these difficult things, I had to work on myself, right? And yeah, and again, there's not a hack for it, right? If you watch this and you know you think that, oh, maybe there might be like an easy solution, there's not. I think the best thing that you could do for yourself is be patient. uh, I mean, I don't know, that's very cliche, and I know that's um, just a whole bunch of nothing, but that's all you. I think that's all you can really do. You know, it takes time, and it's not easy. It's not supposed to, right? Yeah, that's what I did, and you know, having that purpose made it. I don't know if it made it easier for me, but it made it more clear for me that this is what I need to do. Um, uh, you know, then you get to a point of when, okay, I've accepted it. Now I have to stop thinking about it so much, because I still thought about it. I still thought about my regrets. You know, why and why am I here now, right? Like all these things, right? And I I don't think it's, someone might say just ignore it and just push it down, but I don't think that that's really healthy. I think the best thing you could do is share it, and share it with whether for you it's someone who's close with you or it's a therapist, right? I mean, both can work. It depends on the people that you know and the people that you have surrounded, right? But for me, it's my father that I share all of my things with, and not because, oh well, he's went he's gone through the same things that I've gone through, but more that he's very understanding and not that judgmental. So for me, that was just okay. I That's who I want to share with, and you know, obviously for me, he's also uh, kind of a role model. So yeah, I you know that's what worked for me really, but again, it's not. It's a long journey. It's not just something that happens overnight. And um, if I'm being completely honest with you, that it's there's a lot of times. No, there's been, if we take it from the start of where I tried to take my own life and go from there to where I'm now, 3 years later. I think at the point of like 3 months, maybe 3 months later, something like that, I kind of knew what had to happen for me to move on and for me to, you know, get on with my life. For me, that wasn't the hard part. What was the hard part, as I talked about, right, is that, I have to come to acceptance of, this is just how it is, right? And take responsibility, right? The that's the thing that makes this a lot easier, because once you take responsibility for it, and I'm not, again, it's not about pointing fingers, it's not like blaming yourself, it's about just taking responsibility. It's just saying that this was me, I'm the only one that did it, and I'm the only one that can fix it. And that's really it. You don't have to blame yourself. You don't have to point fingers. You don't have to find out whose fault it is, because I don't know. For me, it just seems like a waste of time, right? And the reason why I say that is because I wasted so much time on that instead of actually just taking responsibility for myself. And then comes the second part, in which, having a purpose is what makes it easier to take responsibility for yourself. Because if you don't have purpose in your life, then why the fuck would you even bother to take that responsibility, right? Because, well, do I even deserve it? And yada yada, all these thoughts, right? And yeah, I that's fair, right? But again, then you just, if you watch this with intent of actually wanting to just get more out of your life, right, or whatever you watch this, right? The most important thing is just find purpose, man. Really, right? And it's not easy. It's not supposed to be, right? You know, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that I found my purpose. No, I've with the military thing, right? I thought that was it, and then I was told no, right? So I didn't even get a chance to prove myself in that. So now I have to take a whole other route, right? And that's also a whole other thing, right? But yeah, you know, maybe not so much like when I say purpose, maybe it's more about the illusion of purpose. um, but I'm being like 100% real with you. That's just it, right? As long as you have the illusion of purpose, as long as you're like fixated on this is what I want to do, whether it's just wanting to bungee jump or get an education or whatever it is, right? It doesn't matter. What matters is that you have something to look forward to. You have something out there, right? And by having a big goal, you can set smaller goals up, right? That's, I guess, yeah, I wanted to talk what I'm doing now and what I'm doing to, move on. And that's the things, right? Like, I have, a, I've got a big goal, right? A purpose. And then once that's set up, I could make smaller purposes, smaller goals, or whatever you want to call it, right? And yeah, I mean, it's helped for me. I don't know if it's gonna help for, if it's something useful for everyone, right? But yeah, that's really it. You know, living with regrets, it's not fun. It's not easy, um, and it never will be, right? It's good. To be completely honest, right? It's something that's gonna stick with you throughout your whole life. I really, really want to tell you that once you get to a point of, oh, I've accepted that that's just how it is, right? That then I stop completely thinking about it and all those things. That, maybe that's gonna work for you, but for me, I still, from time to time, I think about it. I still, sometimes I still cry about it. I still feel that pain, sorrow, and it's not fun. But I think for me, what stops that, from like completely snowballing, is that, well, I'm not in that place anymore, right? So, and I've got something to do, right? I've got something to wake up to, and I've just got something, right? something that I want to do, and again, I think that's the most important thing that there is in life, is just having something that you want to do, really. So yeah, just a bit of I don't know what to call this, a ramble, I guess, right? And again, I don't know, I know it kind of seems like advice, and this is what you need to do. It's not. I think more that this is just me sharing my experience and sharing my thoughts, right? Whenever I say things like, you just need, right? What I mean, what I really mean is that this is what I did and it worked for me, right? But in no way is it gonna, in no way is it, I don't even know what to say, but you know, it's not set in stone that this is gonna work for everyone. It's not. This is what worked for me, right? And I just wanted, yeah, I wanted to share my experience, right? That hopefully you get something out of it, but if you don't, I get it. But yeah, thank you for listening, right? See you in, I don't know, maybe a year, I don't know. But yeah, bye.